Cell phones have transformed the world by making it easier than ever for people to get in touch with each other. Cellular technology adds unparalleled mobility and versatility to communications, allowing people to speak with each other while moving or at any spot within signal reach. Smartphones enhance its advantages further by offering remote access to information on the internet. With such convenience and utility, it is not surprising that cell phones have become ubiquitous. However, this widespread adoption brought controversy with it, as detractors claim that cell phone use undermines the fabric of society by hindering other forms of social interaction. The use of cell phones in public places like schools, restaurants, and theaters has become especially contentious. Critics argue that it is distracting, disrespectful to others, and harmful to those institutions' social functions. Some of them have even called for cell phone bans in such locations. Such a ban would do more harm than good because the benefits of cell phone access in public places outweigh the downsides. Being able to use phones in public places offers considerable advantages. It helps people remain in contact with their relatives and friends, no matter where they are. While this capability may not seem so critical under ordinary circumstances, it can become much more important during personal or public emergencies. Additionally, many businesses require their employees to remain in touch over mobile phones even when they are not in the workplace. Whatever the merits of this practice, a public cell phone ban would disadvantage employees working under such conditions. It would force them to choose between compromising their job performance and making use of public places. The fast-paced and interconnected nature of modern life places a high premium on staying in touch at all times, especially for entrepreneurs and activists. Furthermore, the ability to access information from the internet may sometimes enhance education or public performances by providing individuals with additional context. Banning cell phones in public places would deprive people of those benefits, so such a policy should not be accepted lightly. Assuming that forbidding cell phone use in public spaces was found to be sufficiently persuasive, such a ban could not be easily implemented. If introduced at the government level, it might be seen as oppressive, giving rise to concerns about government abuse of power. On the other hand, anti-cell phone regulations introduced by schools and similar institutions may violate laws in many jurisdictions. In either case, such policies would be difficult to enforce fairly. Modern mobile phones are small and generally easy to conceal. Searches and confiscations would be intrusive, obnoxious, and potentially illegal as an unwarranted invasion of privacy. Given its importance in everyday life, it may require more effort, and cause more disruption, to restrict cell phone use than to allow it to continue. With those difficulties in mind, trying to ban mobile phones in certain areas is not worth the effort. There are several arguments in favor of banning cell phones from public spaces. For example, mobile phones in schools can distract their users, other pupils, and teachers alike, disrupting the learning process. Along similar lines, using phones in movie theaters can severely undermine other viewers' enjoyment of the film. However, such situations can be mitigated with proper etiquette, allowed use guidelines, and device settings without resorting to outright bans. Critics also allege that public cell phone use causes an ostracizing effect, inflicting psychological distress on others nearby. Research shows that such an effect only exists for a small minority that already feels an aversion towards cell phones. While this minority's distress should not be disregarded, banning public cell phone use on that basis would be excessive. Most people do not feel threatened or distracted by cell phones, which have become a regular part of modern life. While there are some negative social effects of public mobile phone usage, the current evidence is insufficient to justify a cell phone ban. Although excessive reliance on cell phones can cause adverse social impacts, banning cell phones in public places would not be a proportionate or efficient solution. Such a prohibition would be legally and ethically dubious as well as challenging to enforce. Meanwhile, depriving people of cell phones in public places would bring inconvenience to them at the best of times. In some circumstances, such as medical emergencies or dynamic business situations, phone access may be a matter of life and death. Removing mobile phones from public places would deprive people of a useful informational tool as well as hinder their communications. Although some individuals feel ostracized by cell phone use, the majority take them for granted and rely heavily on them, making a ban more cumbersome and unpopular. It may be wiser to treat distracting mobile phone use like any other disruptive behaviors, rather than a case of dangerous technology. Regulation through etiquette and guidelines would reduce negative effects while retaining the advantages of cellular technology. This and many other essays are available at studycorgi.com.